Hello and welcome to another body language analysis on understanding body language liars, cheats and happy feet. The one I've got for you today is this lady called Casey Anthony. Apparently this was major news in the US. Over here in Great Britain, I had absolutely no idea this was going on. So someone sent me a link on YouTube this morning asking me to cover it. So I scoured the net. I've done a little bit of research about the case and stuff. It was massive in America. So I'm going to give you my video analysis on the verdict when this lady here, obviously the law enforcement is reading out the verdict on Casey Anthony, whether she's found innocent or guilty. So let's start a bit at the beginning. Let's see what we can spot. So here we go.
Circuit Court for the 9th Judicial Circuit in and for Orange County, Florida. State of Florida versus Casey Marie Anthony. As to case number 2008 CF 15606-0. As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict.
So before I've left you in the suspense there, I'm sure you already know the verdict anyway. First thing I noticed straight away is the lack of blinking rate by Casey Anthony. So, but bearing in mind, think about the situation she's in now. In America, this crime carries a death penalty. So this lady here is facing death. I mean, that is the strongest emotion we can feel is when we're faced with the end of our life. So is it any wonder she's not going to have any blinking rate? She's anxious and afraid, and we can see fear all over her face. But bearing in mind, you would be. So we can't really read too much into this one just yet. So we'll start again.
For the 9th Judicial Circuit in and for Orange County, Florida. State of Florida versus Casey Marie Anthony.
Which again is interesting because with sympathetic arousal, her heart rate has got to be flying. So her blood pressure's going up, her breathing rate's going up. So with all these sympathetic actions happening, it sometimes affects the blinking rate and makes them really flicker like mad. But in this case, it's not. So this is true fear. And true fear comes in when the eyes just literally are wide and gazed and ready. So that's our limbic responses.
As to case number 2008 CF 15606-0. As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict as to count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 5th day of July, 2011, signed for person.
Right, so let's read the first one. So murder 1 carries a death penalty in the United States of America.
2011, signed for person.
Let's just have a look. See, here we go.
As to count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida.
One thing we noticed there is her initial response after the verdict is read out. Now that if you're familiar with body language and real kinesic movement, you'll have heard of someone called Dr. Paul Ekman, who is a pioneer behind the show Lie to Me. And in his book Telling Lies, he has something called duping delight, is when we secretly withhold information from somebody and find great delight in somebody else believing something that isn't necessarily true. So we've duped them in one respect. So let's just see if we can spot any duping delight here coming from Casey, because bearing in mind, if she's actually guilty but now she's been proven innocent, she's going to feel secretly proud of herself because she's duped the authorities. So let's see if we can spot any duping delight. I shall put this on here, so let's have a look. See,
not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 5th day of July.
Do you see duping delight there? Honest reaction, no, I don't see any duping delight. We do see a micro expression of a smile, but I think that's more relief than duping delight. Let's watch it again.
Florida, on this 5th day of July, 2011, signed for person.
Let's just
as
rewind
not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando.
There we go. So if we're looking for a smile,
not guilty, so say we all, dated at
there
Orlando.
We go. So the corners of the mouth moves up. I think that's more relief than actual duping delight. The eyes move down. We can't really read it too much into this. So
Florida.
Head down. I think it's more relief than actual duping delight. So let's keep watching
it. This 5th day of July, 2011, signed for person. As to the charge of aggravated child abuse, verdict is to count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, this 5th day of July, 2000.
Now, bearing in mind again, I must state that all body language comes with baselines. I've seen a few videos on the net of this lady. Let me just clear my throat a second. I've got a bit of a tickle. So, bearing in mind, baselines, all starts with baselines. So, I've seen a few videos of Casey Anthony. There's been quite a few video analysis done as well on her body language by professors and doctors and things like that. But no one's actually covered this part yet. So I've been keeping an eye on her baseline. She's very emotionless, it must be said, about dealing with something that the death of her daughter. She's actually quite poker-faced in some respects. So seeing actual displays of emotion on the face is quite refreshing, really. But I've got to say, the facial expressions that she's giving off potentially would be the same expressions you would give off if you were innocent. You would have tremendous relief on your face. But I think sometimes things with relief is your head sometimes goes back, and your heads almost look, your eyes almost go up to the heavens as well. So let's just recap.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So say we all.
There we
at
go.
Orlando.
But instead of the head going back, the head goes down.
Orange County, Florida. This 5th day of...
But bearing in mind, we can't necessarily read this because the fear that she was feeling now about being threatened with the death penalty is a tremendous fear. So think about the threat of punishment. So it's no good me saying what the average person would do, because the average person would not be in this situation. The average person who is feeling fear is looking at potentially a prison sentence or a custodial sentence or maybe some community work. What Casey Anthony is faced with is the death penalty. So her emotions are going to be heightened to something that we ourselves would not necessarily understand. So again, reading this kind of body language with such a threat of punishment on the line is once in a lifetime stuff like this. So let's just keep watching.
July 2011, signed foreperson. As to the charge of aggravated manslaughter of a child, verdict is to count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So say we all.
So her facial expressions are consistent all the time. She's making use of these lower zygomatic muscles here underneath the cheek, near the cheekbone, near the nose. She's using those as well. However, my actual analysis is there's no duping delight with this video. So, you know, she's been found now in a trial that she's been acquitted of the murder. So she was found not guilty. So we must remember that. And so with her facial expressions, potentially are congruent with the stress you would feel. However, don't forget that she's threatened with the death penalty for murder one. So the feeling of fear that she would feel is completely different to the feeling of fear that you would feel, because you are not threatened with the death penalty. You are threatened with a similar punishment of jail, but not death. So there we go. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video analysis on understanding body language, liars, cheats, and happy feet. If you have any feedback, please let me know. Please check out my other videos as well. And if you're interested about learning more about body language, please check out my Facebook page. It's just type in CJB, CJBAXX. Click the link, come and say hi, and we'll have a chat. So, from everyone here at Body Language, take care, and bye-bye for now. And bye-bye from Casey Anthony as well. Bye-bye.